Yo, 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 what is going on? Welcome, welcome. New show we got for y'all today. This is DeGen Central. Every week we'll be going over some of the best games, highlighted games, and games that we want to bet. Talking about spreads, over-unders, money line, everything we like, don't like. So we'll go over some of the highlighted games every week, so some of the big marquee matchups, and then as well as some of the lesser-known games if we really like the lines or an over-under. Doesn't matter if it's UTEP versus a team in buttfuck Alabama. We're going to talk about if we like a line. My name is Matt. You might have seen me in some of our other podcasts. Obviously, you guys know Michael and Andrew. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Let's pick some fucking winners.
Absolutely.
Look good, pick good. Look good, pick good.
Shout out to Tony.
All the picks we got will be on our Twitter. It'll be changed to DeGen Central, and the app will be Victory Sports Bets. So if you want to follow all of our picks from week to week, we might be doing some punishments if anybody slacks off and has some shitty back-to-back weeks. You can see all that stuff on our Twitter, so check it out, stay updated. And, yeah, we're going to jump right into it. Week 2, kind of week 1, college football. We're going to go over some more of the highlighted games for this week. We're all from South Bend, Mishawaka area in Indiana, so we're going to talk about Notre Dame and Duke real quick. So Notre Dame and Duke. Notre Dame is favored by 19.5 points and got an over-under of 54.5 in South Bend playing at Notre Dame. So what do you guys think about Notre Dame versus Duke?
I think Notre Dame blows Duke out. I think Duke is just not really a good team. They weren't that good last year. They weren't really not supposed to be that good this year. You got offensive line. Notre Dame has probably the best offensive line in football. Then you got Book coming back for another year. So I think the Irish blow them out. And then also you have we saw Monday night Navy BYU. You have these teams who BYU's excited to play, doesn't fucking care if it's no fans. They just want to play football. Only team that's, I think, further west than, Oklahoma that's playing football this year. So props to BYU. And BYU is just
down the West Coast.
Yeah, BYU is just ready to play. Navy didn't do anything during camp. So I think this is one of those things where Duke, I don't think will be that ready to play. I think Notre Dame wants to play badly. I think they know that they have a team that can actually compete for a national championship this year. Whether they do or don't, I don't know, but I think that's why you'll see Notre Dame come out ready to play. If Notre Dame comes out and blows them out in the first quarter, this will be an absolute rout. And if that also happens, I think the over will hit because I think Notre Dame will score 42 to 49 points, and I can see Duke scoring a few bullshit touchdowns, keeping their ones in, getting some confidence. Olina, what do you think?
So what I was about to start off with is how you finished with if Notre Dame starts out, let's say 21-0 in the first quarter, I could see that this can get 56-3 real fucking quick. So I could see Notre Dame coming very close to covering the over by themselves, but I do fear that Duke is going to have a very tough time scoring with their preseason All-American running back not going to play. Yep. I think that causes a lot of headache for their offense. It puts the pressure on shoulders of people who it's not probably supposed to be. And
when you're not supposed to be that good of a team, like Duke, they could be average, but when you have a preseason All-American running back or All-ACC, whatever he is, he's clearly one of their better players. You kind of can rely on a guy like that. Let's say you have a really good receiver, you can go to him on third downs, something like that. I think that definitely can hurt them.
Right. Yeah. And if they can't get the ball running, if they can't start running the ball, then if it's just they're down a bunch and they got to start passing, this could get ugly, and it could be almost 3 to 6 points for Duke. So I'm scared of the over.
3 and outs with 20 seconds off the clock, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
negative.
It all comes down to if Notre Dame's backup players are going to let up any points, and that's the coin flip that you're taking. I think it's going to be very close. Notre Dame will be very close to the over by themselves, but Duke will not put up many contribution points to that. So
yeah, I also agree. I think I remember the Notre Dame Duke game last year. Notre Dame didn't even play that well in the first half, and they were still up going into halftime. And I just think them being in the ACC this year, I think Brian Kelly and I'm expecting like the coordinators to like want to fucking destroy teams and kind of make
Yeah.
their presence known in the ACC. So I'm not expecting Brian Kelly to bring on the second and third stringers as like early or as frequently as he has in the past, hopefully. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing like Notre Dame like 42, 45 points. Like it'd be great to see him start on that kind of note and let everyone know that this isn't necessarily going to be a walkthrough for Clemson. So I'm right there with you on the over and Notre Dame minus 19.5.
Now, when we say all these when we're breaking down the game, this does not mean these are in our cards. We will all go through our cards at the end, but this is just our analysis on the game, I guess.
One thing that I'm not sure if it's as widely covered as it would be if it would have been an SEC school that it was rumored to save the season, but Notre Dame, did you see that report where Notre Dame was not, I don't know if this is like 100% confirmed sources, but Notre Dame essentially saved the season by convincing the ACC to continue their season.
Basically, long story short, Big Ten thought that the ACC was going to push over. Notre Dame basically said, well, we probably won't sign a long-term contract with you. If you guys play, we will sign a long-term, like, the 6 games, whatever, or even some years we'll play 7 or 8 type shit. Notre Dame has such a power in football in terms of money. The ACC bent over and let Notre Dame pat their belly and did whatever Notre Dame said. So, yeah, but if the ACC would have canceled, the Big 12 would have canceled, then it would have just been like the SEC by themselves. So, basically –
no way it would happen. So, thank you, Notre Dame, for a season.
Shout out. All right, so the next matchup in the highlighted games, so I'll make it clear when we go switch to our each of our personal selections. But the next highlighted game is going to be Syracuse at North Carolina. North Carolina is coming in with one of the biggest spreads I've seen them have over an ACC team at 22.5, and the over/under 65.5. So what were we thinking there?
Olena, you can go first.
I do not see how. I mean, it would just for the way that North Carolina and Syracuse have in my head how they usually match up. I do not see how a team possibly wins by 22 points. Like these games go down to the fucking wire usually, like some crazy like overtime-esque games. So I have hammered Syracuse here. Not saying it's any do or die pick yet, but I think Syracuse plus 22 is something I'm really liking right now.
I agree with you, and I think Syracuse had such a bad year last year, and I think Dino Babers is actually a really good coach. You remember that year that Notre Dame blew them out, but they actually played Clemson really close. They ended up going to a big-time bowl game. I think they went 10-3. Good football team. He's a good coach. I think he was just dealing with a lot of turnover last year. I think they have to – 23 points is so much for North Carolina to blow a team out like this. Now, Syracuse could come and lay an egg like they did to start the year next year, and you don't know. But one thing I will say is I like the over because Syracuse plays the spread, scores, and doesn't play much defense. And I think North Carolina is kind of similar in that aspect. I would not be shocked if this was an absolute shootout. Plus, you got to think, with all these restrictions, I mean, teams probably haven't been able to tackle as much and go over scrimmage-wise. Running routes on air is pretty simple and translates to games a lot more than, say, running a 7-on-7 full pads going at it. So, with both the way these two offenses go or have played in the past and how North Carolina played last year, I think the over is a solid play, but I agree with you, Elena. I just do not see how North Carolina comes out and beats the shit out of Syracuse. 23 points, that's an ass kicking.
Yeah.
That is a rout.
North Carolina, I saw this earlier, North Carolina has 10 returning starters for their offense, including the quarterback. So that is big, but I definitely like the overplay way more than –
But can they stop them on defense? Think if North Carolina's up 24 points and Syracuse scores a touchdown with 10 minutes.
And that stat doesn't say anything about how good North Carolina is going to play on defense. So and I think North Carolina and Syracuse do a good job in the ACC of playing to the level of their competition. Yeah. I feel like the Clemson game last year, that was awesome. Almost got the upset. But I feel like both of them, like if they're playing another like average ACC team, it's still like close, and then they'll almost get upset by like Vandy. It's just kind of, or not Vandy. What did they almost lose to last year?
Who? North Carolina?
Yeah, they almost lost to a really shitty team.
Georgia Tech?
Yeah. So like games like that, they play really close no matter who they're playing.
I will say if Syracuse scores first and their offense gets some confidence, there's no way they get blown out. Like, absolutely no chance.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think we all kind of agree on that one, too.
Yeah, sounds good. So next game we're going to talk – you want to do the ranked games first, like the other ranked game? So the next one we're going to talk about is I don't know if they're ranked actually, but Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Yep.
So it's at Florida State. They're minus 13, and the over-under is 52.5. Florida State has not been looking very great the past 3 or 4 seasons. I don't know. This could be like an outright upset, in my opinion.
Wrong.
I'm not sold on Florida State, though.
I'm not sold either. I think Norvell is such a good coach, though, and I think Georgia Tech is so bad, and you got to remember this is their first year not running the option, so they have a bunch of fucking players who were recruited to play for Paul Johnson, and now have to convert to a different thing or a different type of offense. Florida State, yeah, they haven't been good, but James Blackman has been starting or played for 3 straight years. I think that helps them a lot. It's a home game. They will have 20,000 fans. I think just seeing any fans will get these players excited with what's been going on. I actually think if Florida State comes out and plays well in the first quarter, this is an absolute rout. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if it was like a 24-14 type game, like super low scoring, because I don't think Georgia Tech's offense is going to be very good at all. Florida State, like their quarterback, yeah, he's played a lot, but he can be also shitty. But a lot of shit's been going on in Tallahassee this year with Norvell. I mean, they've had players saying that they're not following COVID restriction, and they had players that
some are, some aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have players who are saying that like the whole like when the racism stuff was going on, that Norvell didn't actually talk to the team, and some said he did. So I think there's a lot of shit going on, and I think it's going to go one or two ways, very poorly or very well, to be honest with you.
So in the last 7 meetings, Georgia Tech is 5-0-2 against the spread.
Yeah.
But you have to also look at how bad Florida State has been these past few years. But spread's also meant to make it an even playing field regarding that. So tough to really put too much into that, in my opinion. Or if Florida State was at their normal top 25 self and Georgia Tech was 5-0 in the past 10, I'd be like, okay, there's something they got. But now with the first year they're running this new offense, this is a really tough one, in my opinion. And so the over-under is at 52.5, right?
Yep. That's what you said.
A lot of people are betting. Yeah. It opened at 54.5, so people are taking this under.
That's what I was saying. Like, I could see it being a fucking weird game where, like, Florida State scores quick in the first drive, and then after that, it's just, like, grind it out type of fucking game.
Right. And I could see Georgia Tech having a ton of struggles with a new offense, and Florida State's just going to have the better athletes without a doubt. But and then Norvell, which I agree with you, he is a very good coach. He didn't have like a full normal offseason to implement his offense here. So that also takes away from the firepower that Florida State could potentially have. I honestly I don't like it at 52.5, taking the under. But if it went back up to 54, I would take that. I guess I don't want to take Georgia Tech, but I would take Georgia Tech plus 12.5. I see this being like a struggle
now too. So
it's at 13.
It's at 13.
Oh, 13. All right, so 13.
So that's even better for if you were to take them. Nagy, so you said you like Georgia Tech in this game.
Yeah, I think I'm right with you on the low scoring. I think it's going to be like
Do you
I think-
think you'll they're going to win this game, or you think there's a chance?
No, I'm saying I think there's a chance for the upset because I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm thinking
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 20-17, and the money line sitting at plus 420.
That is a
and-
hefty money line.
But Florida State has definitely been susceptible to like upsets like this the past couple seasons.
Oh,
Georgia Tech beat them one time. They did.
Sure.
So I just think like a little sprinkle, like little dust onto the money
That's like
line.
those
Little
bullshit,
fairy
like,
dust.
that bullshit like 0.2 units on it. You know, that's
Something like that. Just like, especially if like, because that game's at 3:30. So like, if I do poorly on like a couple of noon games, I would definitely chime in
sprinkle
on
something
that.
on it. I feel you on that.
So definitely. All right. So the next game we're going to talk about for highlighted games is going to be Clemson playing at Wake Forest. The line currently sits at Clemson minus 33, and the over/under is at 60.5 points.
So this is how wild college football is right now, that like game day is going there, and it's like a 3-point spread. But I mean, dude, you gotta think Clemson just comes out and beats them like 66-0. Like honestly, like is there a more fired up team to play this year than Clemson? Like, who has been the most outspoken team?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, we want to play.
I'd say if Ohio State got the chance to play, then Ohio State.
I would agree with that. But of teams playing this Saturday, Clemson is probably, I would say, currently supposed to play. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is on a mission. The dude's only lost one game, and everyone acted like or him himself acted like he had such a bad college career now. Like, this dude's going to come out and probably go like 23 of 24 for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. Clemson might get the over by themselves. I mean, this is a rout. I'm pretty sure Wake Forest has a few guys sitting out, and they're not supposed to be – like, they're supposed to be decent but not that good to begin with. And Clemson just – I mean, they have so many athletes. Like, they're just going to plug in. Like, I know they lost some receivers and all that. Their defense might be a little shaky. Not shaky, but, like, not as good to start. I think that's why the over would be a good play. But, like, let's say Clemson wins, like, 56-14. Like, that's still –
Yeah. See, that's where I'm like a little confused on this line. So that I could see Clemson's defense being so fired up that they don't put up anything but like a field goal or something. So,
for sure, they could win this game 35-3.
Yeah, and just the way the game would go, I mean, this could go like 63, like nothing. I could see this going, and like we just missed the over there. So this is another one of those things where I don't see Wake contributing much to the over. But I think Clemson with the points is the only thing I could ever suggest on this game. No way you'd ever take Wake Forest week 1. I mean, this is the only way you could see taking Wake would be like a mid-season, some bullshit where it's like a trap game or something.
Yep.
Never in a starting a game off of the season where Clemson's been like probably the voice of trying to play this year. So yeah, I think that all signs point to Clemson winning by 50 plus. I'd say 45, 50 plus.
Yeah. I really like the over. I think Clemson is going to score every possession in under 5 minutes. Like they won't take
that's the thing. I agree with you, but when do they start? Like they're going to lay off at some point, and when is that? Like obviously they don't want to fuck shit up.
I do think that Wake will just by the sheer amount of possessions they'll have from how often Clemson scores, like they'll squeak by with like a couple of like really good plays and squeak out like 14 or 17 points this game.
I think if they can,
I'd be surprised at 17.
If they can get 14 points, this over will 100% hit.
Oh, and right. That's why I love the over.
If Wake scores 14, lock it in.
I think even if they get like 10, like
I would say 7. It's almost a lot. Though.
I think they could score like.
I think Clemson scores 9 touchdowns. No bullshit.
If they can score between 10 and 14, like this over is an absolute.
I would say 10 locks it in the bag. That's only 8 touchdowns from Clemson. That's
10, 13, or 14. I think that's doable. So I love the over. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick, I guess. I think but for them to score 10, I think we're relying on a very late touchdown from Wake, though. Probably. I think it could be like 56-3 for a long time, or like, in the latter half of the third, half of the fourth, and then maybe they eke out a late touchdown, which is still, I'm looking for a comfortability pick here. I don't see it with this, but it could definitely.
Okay. All right. So the last game last highlighted game we're going to talk about before we get to our personal picks is going to be UAB playing at Miami. The U is going into the game right now minus 14.5, and the over/under sitting at 55.
Yep.
55. Okay.
UAB is 1-0.
Yeah.
They have played a game, but I mean,
like over 70 points or something.
This is a do or die year for Manny Diaz. Like if he goes anywhere, I honestly think if he goes 8-4 or worse, he's fired. Like he's done. Miami's just fiending to be good at football again. Like I think they can get recruits. I think last year he was kind of thrown in the mud because Mark Richt just retired. And it was kind of like, oh, fuck, we're hiring Manny Diaz. And he was going to go to Temple. Then he didn't. They got Derek King at quarterback. Dude was an absolute stud at Houston. One of the most electrifying players in football. I just think that the way Miami has come out and play, I think they will with Derek King. I think that their offense has been so stagnant for a few years. I think they've always had pretty good defenses. With Derek King, I mean, that dude right there can make you 14 points like that, and just crazy plays by himself. I think, honestly, Miami routes them. I think Miami wins by 3 scores at least.
Yeah, I like Miami here, no doubt. And so this over/under opened at 48.5.
48?
That's what it says on DR. I would have hammered that.
Bro, UAB's defense, they played a horrible team. It was like a D1 AA team and let up 30 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave up 21 points in the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I think they're predicting Miami to score 28 as a team or something here, something like that, 35, and then UAB doesn't score too many.
Yeah.
They have to be.
I do think Miami's defense is going to be very improved. Actually, they weren't that bad last year. Actually, they were pretty good. So, I could see – I mean, the way UAB, they're a pretty sloppy game one, but could help them because they got it out of the way, and Miami has a play type of thing. But
just having a game under your belt is, I think, huge in these scenarios.
100%. 100%.
Especially when you're playing a team like Miami, not coming out against Miami with virtually no real game experience would have sucked. I think that this line may have been a little bit different too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when I first looked at this, I really didn't like the line too much, 14.5, just because of how Miami's played the last couple of years, first game. But I kind of agree. Michael kind of convinced me there. I don't really like the over/under either, just because UAB's defense there's too many question marks on what they're going to be able to do, because they did look kind of solid the first half.
They did, but the problem with the over/under on this one is so Clemson can score 70 points. Miami, let's be honest, probably at best is going to score 42 points. So if Miami's defense plays super, super well and gives up 10 points, the over doesn't hit. So it's best case scenario, Miami's offense is on all cylinders, but Manny Diaz is a defensive coach, so he's gonna run the ball if they're up 30 points, all that type of shit. So
he like you said, the concern is winning here. So
yeah,
maybe a little bit more hesitant to air it out or do some crazy shit where it's maybe some small risk where you feel like a normal guy would be I trust my fucking defense here. He's no, let's win this goddamn game, move on to the next week.
I will say I'm kind of excited. I'm not a Miami fan at all, but the turnover chain is pretty dope. So I'm hoping to see that 3 or 4.
I think that loses all of its power with no fans, with the lack of fans.
Still just getting back into college football.
20K.
I do.
I mean,
I do want to see that. So I think
Miami. I don't give a shit about the turnover change. College football is just better when Miami is good at football.
Oh, for sure.
Grand scheme of college football is just better with Miami football better.
Yeah. So I say we see the turnover chain 3 or 4 times. UAB maybe score 14, 17 points, maybe 10 or 14 points, just kind of Wake Forest will. And I'll take the minus 14.5 if I have to pick one, but that's definitely my least favorite game we've talked about.
Yeah, I don't like that pick very much. I'm not very confident there, but that's what I'd take as well.
Okay.
So now we're going to get into our personal picks for this next week. Could be, and it could include some of the games we just talked about, some not. And some of our picks are also going to be do or die picks. So these are going to be picks we're super confident about, picks that we are just know are going to hit and know are going to win. And we're going to work in some kind of system to where if any of us lose 3 of these in a row, we have to do some kind of punishment, which you'll be able to see on our Twitter. So
Are you talking about the mortar locks?
yeah,
The do or die.
So, or the do or dies. So what we'll do is we'll go through our cards, and then at the end we'll say our do or dies. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, well, yeah, like Nagy was saying. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah.
No, you're good. So do we want to do that? So I know some people do this, but like if 2 of us have the same pick, like can both of us do a do or die pick on the same?
Yes, you
pick?
can.
Okay.
Yes, but and we'll just go like everyone just reads off their card. Like Alina will go, I'll go, then you go, and then we'll do do or dies at the end, and we'll go the same order. So Alina, you start with your card.
Okay, I got.
And we'll keep it on a consistent level. Every one of our picks, other than do or dies, are all 1 unit.
Okay. Damn. Okay, so yeah, I'll just read the card first and then say the do or dies.
Yeah.
So
no, wait, we'll do it after. Everyone will go do or die.
Okay, yeah. All right. So Notre Dame with the points.
Okay.
Then next on my card is Clemson with the points as well. And then South Florida with the points. That's at 20.5 for me. I don't know where it's at for you guys.
Okay.
Chuck
and the boys.
Yeah, I love that pick. They're playing the Citadel.
Are they really? Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
I almost went Tulane just from our logos from last trivia, but a little too much.
The Green Wave.
The Green Wave. I like. We didn't touch on any Big 12 games, did we?
No, because none of them were playing like.
Yeah, they all suck.
The only reason why the Miami game was thrown in there because it's Thursday night. It's not on Saturday.
Right. Okay. I don't know if I want to keep that. I had Oklahoma over Missouri State.
Yeah.
It's 40.5 though.
And you have to pay to watch that game.
PPV, like what the fuck?
Yeah. Wow.
I'll throw that on there though. Oklahoma minus 40.5.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's my board. So those are my.
How many was that?
Like that was
6 or 7.
He'll text it to you after the show.
I was just curious. I didn't know.
I think it was 6. Yeah, 6.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I have Clemson minus 33. That's what it was. At 33.5 or 33.
It says 33, but either way, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Right.
What consensus right now though? What do we give? 33.
33. Yeah, it was. Oh no, it was 33. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Clemson minus 33. I got Iowa State minus 11.5. I think they're going to be good this year. Matt Campbell. They're playing a kind of shitty team. I think they come out and at home play very well. I got Notre Dame minus 20. I got Florida State minus 12.5. I got Texas and UTEP over 58. I got Louisville minus 11.5. I love Scott Satterfield. I think them winning as many games as they did last year was absolutely wild. At home playing this year, I think they will be very fired up to play. I got less than the boys. Kansas at home minus 7.
Yeah, that was on mine too. I didn't say that. All right, I was like, look at that.
And that is my card. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Notre Dame's minus 19.5 right now, by the
way. Okay, 19.5. So that'll be on all our cards.
Oh shit! Then book that. Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, and then I will have 2 do or die plays.
All right, and here's mine. I got 5 picks for week 1. I'm taking Louisville minus the 11.5 at home against Western Kentucky.
Good pick.
Texas Tech is playing Houston Baptist.
Ooh.
The over/under is set at 74. I'm hammering the under.
That's crazy, bro.
That's a tough one.
Clemson, Wake Forest. I'm taking over 60.5.
Good pick.
And I know we were talking about this game. It actually moved the whole point, like while we were talking about it. But I'm taking Georgia Tech. Was it 12.5?
That's what I have it as.
Yeah,
That's
12.5.
Okay, then we'll both take it at 12. I'm taking Georgia Tech plus 12.5 points.
Okay.
And I got Notre Dame minus 19.5.
Okay. Now for the do or dies, baby. All right. So rules.
Yeah.
If you lose 3 straight do or dies, we will have punishments. Also, you can take 1 to 4 or 3 do or dies a week. I say 3.
3
I say
max.
3.
Yeah, 3 max.
Okay. 3 max do or die plays. All of the do or die plays are 2 units or more. You can specify how many units you want on them. These are the big boys. Let's have some fun.
All right. So my one do or die for the week is my boy Chuck in South Florida against the Citadel. And we're throwing 10 burgers on it, baby.
What?
10
What?
burgers.
Oh my
10
god!
He brought, dude. If you lose this pick, you gotta cook burgers. You gotta cook burgers on it live.
I just gotta cook. Oh shit!
You gotta go live on Instagram or something.
Burgers and fries. I'll cook some burgers.
On Victory Laps Instagram, you gotta go live and cook some burgers if you lose this boy. 10 burgers. I love it though. Fuck
Holy
yeah.
shit!
This is getting me so
baby.
excited.
Let's go, Chuck.
This is getting me so excited for football. All right, I got 2 do or die plays. I got Army minus 19 for 2 units. They absolutely mollywopped whoever they fucking played. Mid-Tennessee State last week. They play at home. They have all the fucking cadets jumping up and down, blaring that techno, going
Yeah,
crazy.
I love that environment for them.
Fucking awesome. They're going to be so fired up to play. Army minus 19. My second do or die, which is also for 2 units, is the Hurricanes. I think they absolutely rout UAB. And those are my 2 do or dies.
How many units are you doing that one?
2 for both.
2.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did say that.
2 for both.
I was debating. I really want to make Notre Dame a do or die, bro. I really do.
I almost did.
That's just week 1. I'm gonna say fuck it. I'll make Notre Dame minus 19.5. One of my do or dies.
Wow.
And I'm gonna do just 2 units on that, and then I'm also making Texas Tech under a 3-unit do or die.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
That's
So-
crazy.
Damn. If they score quick, you're gonna just be sweating that do or die.
And here's the thing. If you let's say so the last game, if you lose your last game of the do or dies, then the following week you should only be able to get so let's say you're on a 2-game losing streak to end that day, then you only get 1 for the next week and you got it.
Right.
Yeah. So if I lose my 2, I only get 1 next week.
Yeah, right.
It's legit do or die.
Do or die.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Also, if you guys have suggestions for some punishments, I said, check out the DeGen Central Twitter. I think right now it's under Victory Sports Bets on Twitter.
We'll put it in the descriptions.
Yeah.
For these ones, so you can follow our Twitter and then give us suggestions on that.
Yeah. So we'll have all these picks up, all of our do or die units that we put on these, and let's fucking go. I'm excited.
Boys, football's back. This actually got me really excited for Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fucking awesome. All right, good fucking shit.
That's going to do it for episode 1 of DeGen Central. We'll have NFL card coming out soon too, so keep your eyes open for that. And take it easy.
Look good, pick good.